So I've come back to Parque Ardalis. I did have a few other plans, but for reasons I'll explain in a minute, I just wanted to get to the closest campsite as quickly as possible while I still can. But wow, I've just checked in and there is literally nobody here. There's normally at least a couple of caravans here, and normally at least 1 or 2 tents, because as you can see from what I'm wearing, we've got an exceptionally warm weekend. And if you look behind me, there is absolutely nobody. So I'm going to get the tent pitched and then I'll fill you in on what's going on here and why I made a sudden mad dash to the woods this weekend. So I'm pretty much set up now. If you watched my last video, we've got the same pitch and pretty much all the same kit. So I'm with the Coleman Rock Springs 4 again, and I've got a couple of my other glamping bits and pieces. So we've got table, got the beers cooling in the cooler. We've of course got the Cobb, and I'll explain that in a second. So that's my camping setup outside. Let's have a quick look inside the tent. So in my sleeping area, so as I said, this is a 4-sleeper tent, so this is very, very spacious in here, which is great for me. That's what I like. I do bring this tent carpet. A little bit of a luxury, but we are out of season and this is pretty rocky ground, and it's just a nice little home comfort I like to bring. And I've got my trusty winter sleeping bag. Not that I'm expecting it to get that cold, but it's the only one I've got at the moment. And the zip's got on it, so I've got a sleeping bag liner as well. But let's just get all that in here. The sleeping mat here is made by Quechua. It's a common Spanish brand out here, and self-inflating. I'll just top it up later. But yep, that's me for later on tonight. So, with all the hard work done, it's time to raid our favourite little blue box and see what surprises we've got. I actually stacked a couple of cold ones from home. They should be right at the bottom. There we are. Oh, that'll do the trick. Crack on at home and cheers. So one of the reasons for this kind of impromptu trip, and one of the reasons I didn't go anywhere a bit more adventurous and further away from home, is coronavirus. So I don't know what you've been seeing in the news, but Spain is having a lot of trouble again. I live down in the Andalusian region, and to be honest, looking at the news, looking at what everyone was saying about what's likely coming this weekend, this seemed like the last possible opportunity to go camping, probably for the rest of the year. So nothing's been confirmed. We're all a bit on tenterhooks. We don't know if we're going to get full lockdown or partial lockdown or businesses closed. So today is Saturday the 7th of November. So I know the Junta, the local president in Andalusia, is due to speak tomorrow, and there's going to be some extra measures, and then the government might be coming in with new measures on Monday, the central government. So with that in mind, I just thought, I don't care if it's raining, windy, storming, tornado, I'm going camping this weekend, because I doubt very much that I'll be able to go again after this weekend. So time will tell, and I guess watch the end of this video to find out what happened next. But in the meantime, it's a beautiful afternoon. I'm sat here in the woods. There's not a single soul around. I literally haven't seen, the whole time I was pitching my tent, I didn't see another human being, which is how we like it. So we're going to enjoy some beers and some good food, forget all about COVID-19, and just enjoy a nice camping trip. Maybe the last. So the plan for food tonight is going to be an interesting one. So I've got the Cobb, and I'm going to be trying something I've not tried before. I've got a joint of pork, and I'm going to try and do roast crackly pork. And the key is whether I can get the crackling to work or not. So we'll find out. I've got the gas version of the Cobb here, so I've got no idea if I can get it hot enough to crackle the pork really well. But we'll see. So join me a bit later for some Cobb cooking. So we'll see how we do with the light tonight. I think my next investment for doing these YouTube videos is going to be some kind of an LED panel that I can bring with me to light things up a little bit better, because the nights are drawing in. But let's get to the second most important thing in the cool box, which is what we're going to try and do tonight. I picked this up this morning from my good butcher in Fuencarral, which is the Scottish butcher. So this is the little bad boy that we're cooking tonight. Nice little rolled piece of pork, and what I'm going to try and do is get the crackling to come up on this using the cob. We may or may not have success with that. That's going to be an entire experiment in itself. To go with that, we're going to have a nice baked potato, a baked spud. So I try to find a relatively small one because I don't really want all of it. So we're going to do, so this will probably only take about 30-40 minutes to cook, and I'm estimating the potato might take just a little bit longer, so I'll probably get the potato on first. So we're going to get the cob heated up, get the meat seasoned, and get our potato on, and we should be on track. Looking good. I'm actually getting really hungry. We're keeping seasonings pretty simple this evening, so I'm just going to dump some olive oil on this and then some rock salt. I'm going to get slightly away from my tent to spray this. So we've got this covered in oil, and now we're just going to add some rock salt. Quite how long a potato this size is going to take to cook. I'm hoping about 45 minutes. We'll see. Plenty of salt. No problem here. Now for the fun bit, so for the pork, I'm just going to season this with some barbecue seasoning on the meat and some salt on the top. The skin's actually a lot wetter than I wanted to have it. I haven't had time to wear it out. So let's just get a nice little bit of seasoning on here. That should do that. Now, before anybody goes on at me about cross-contamination, these things get put separately, and off camera they get washed extremely well. Right, and now to the top here. I don't know if we're going to get too much luck with crackling because this is just still very wet. But we're going to add a good amount of salt. So I've seasoned my pork, I've got barbecue seasoning on the meat, I've got olive oil and copious amounts of salt on the top of the skin. I'm not too confident in how well the crackling is going to come out because I had to bring it up in the car, and it was in the cooler box in a very well sealed bag, and of course all the juices of the meat have gone all over the skin, and I haven't had time to air it half as much as I normally would. But we'll see. So let's get the cob on the go. So my potato's been on now for about 20 minutes, so I think I'm going to shove the pork on and get that roasting. The cob is nice and hot. I've just had to turn my music down because I like to listen to a bit of music when I'm camping, nice and softly, but I've realised in some of my other videos that they could never actually get monetized because YouTube would strike them for copyrighted content for when I'm playing in the background, so I have to keep turning it down to record. Let's get the pork on and see how we're going with the potato. So let's have a quick look, see how we're doing. Oh, actually, I reckon we might be in for a bit of luck. I reckon this might be hot enough to do crackling, but we're going to find out. So what's the time now? This is 7:15. If you saw my last video when I was cracking a beer at 7 o'clock, you'll see just how different the light is now. So let's whack on our nice bit of pork and get roasting. Don't want to lose too much of the heat. I think we have a cooking problem here. We'll just stuff. So now we're going to leave that to roast. I'm going to leave the heat up on max, certainly for the first 20 minutes anyway, and see if we get a little bit of luck with crackling, which would be nice. Man, I'm getting hungry. So while we're waiting for the pork to roast and the potato to cook, cheers, join me. So we've been cooking for a while now. I normally like to gauge the doneness, especially with pork, for like big roast joints, when I'm cooking on an apparatus I've never done it on before, with a meat thermometer. And the little meat thermometer that I brought down with me, that I bought today from a hardware store, it's completely crap and doesn't work. So we're stuck with just hoping it's ready. So I'm going to have a quick look. So let's see if we've managed to do anything that resembles crackling. I'm not quite sure. Still not quite sure, we can't see it. Let's have a look. The potato's looking good. I think we're not too bad. I think we can call it a success. A quick check of the potato. I think we'll leave the potato just a little bit longer, but we'll let the meat rest for a little while. Okay, I think we're looking good. Look at that. That is the Cobb doing its job. Okay, so first up I'm going to get my potato off. Yep, that's looking good. We've got a nice crispy skin. We've got what feels like a nice fluffy centre. I guess we'll find out when we open it. Yep, we're looking good on the potato front. Wow, that is looking awesome. You know what, I've never been a bigger fan of the Cobb until today. And it wouldn't be a baked potato without ridiculous amounts of butter. Let's put a nice big wedge of butter in there. So we've got our meal for tonight. Wow, okay, I think I'm not going to go too hungry. This is looking alright. So let's get some of this pork sliced. I think we're pretty good on the crackling front. And I'm going to nosh in and have some food because I am absolutely starving. Yeah, look at that. That's alright. Here we go. And this was the challenge. The challenge in 2020 for me was to do crackling pork at a campsite. And I think pretty succeeded. So folks, next time anyone tells you that camping food is boring, then yeah, it doesn't have to be. Let's first see how my potato came. Wow, my potato is like super fluffy inside. Delish. And my meat. This is camping with Craig. Now for the ultimate test. Ladies and gentlemen, we have campsite crackling. This does just not get any better. I think this is my absolute best camping meal in history. So thanks for watching until now. I'm super hungry. I'm going to chow down on this nosh, on my baked potato and my crackly roast pork, and I'm going to enjoy it. So well, that was a meal and a half. I'm completely stuffed. That actually came out a lot better than I thought. Not only was the potato perfectly cooked, but the crackling I thought was only about half done, but actually most of it was all perfectly crackled. So that was absolutely mission accomplished. And if you're a regular to my channel, then you'll be really familiar with the Cobb. But if you're not, if you just stumbled across this video, this little contraption that I use, I bring it to all of my camping trips. If you check out my channel, you'll see a bunch of videos on them. It's called the Cobb. This is the gas version. I've got the charcoal version as well, but for complicated reasons in Spain and forest fires and stuff, it gets a bit annoying trying to do stuff on charcoal here, so I've got the gas one. But it really is seriously the most versatile bit of cooking kit you can buy for camping. So if you are new to it, if you want to find out more, check out some of my other videos on the channel. I'll put a link to some more information about the Cobb in the description below. So with that, I'm going to say good night and see you guys in the morning for a coffee. Cheers. Well, good morning. So it's definitely time for coffee. It's about 8:45. I slept in a bit this morning. It was nice without the little one waking me up at 8 in the morning. So slight problem with coffee. If you've seen my other videos, you know I've got this little orange plasticky funnel that I use to put on top of my coffee mug, and that I left at home. So I think I'm going to make a bit of a plan. There we go. I think the trick behind this plan is going to be making sure we don't get the plastic too hot. But I think we'll be good with that. So let's get some water on the go and have a coffee. I slept pretty well last night. It did get quite chilly. I think it's definitely time to fix that broken sleeping bag before the next off-season trip. But it wasn't too bad. I think it got down to about 10 degrees Celsius, so terrible. Right, that should do. Well, it's a camping hack, but it works. So when I was here last time, I found this little spot really close to my tent, just down on the riverbank to come and have a coffee in the morning. So I'm doing that again today because it was awesome last time. So if you're curious about the campsite, I haven't done much of a tour around because in my last video I came here, I think it's called Off-Season Solo Camping, so check it out on my channel. And I have a little walk around the woods and show you more of the campsite. But it's called Parking Ardalas in Malaga, so if you're in the area, do check it out. So I'm going to sit, have a coffee, wake up and enjoy the view. Oh, I've really enjoyed this trip. It's been fantastic. Weather's held up great. Food came out nice. So I hope you enjoyed coming along for the ride. So it's difficult to say what's kind of planned for the next couple of months on this channel. We're going to find out in a couple of hours, I think, what they're going to do in this part of Spain. So I had planned a couple of more interesting stuff. I was planning to do some stealth camping. I even just found a spot for it, but we currently have nighttime curfew here in Spain. So while I'm not opposed to breaking a few little anti-camping rules, I'm not going to start messing around with COVID legislation, so that's off the cards until next year. And I guess we'll see if campsites are still open and what my options are. But yeah, I'm going to try and get some content posted to this channel, but I hope you understand that with the current situation, it's well, I'm just going to have to wait and see what I'm able to do. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you like this kind of stuff, then please do consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps. And until next time, which I hope will be very soon, take care.